Alright, hey guys, so today we're going to be going over mechanisms of evolution and many other different things that come under that. So there are many different species that exist on the earth. All these different species differ from one another in many sorts of ways. The mantises differ in shape, size, and color. Just some features to name. So here are 3 key observations of life. Organisms are very well suited, adapted for life in their environments. They share many characteristics of life and their diversity of life. Charles Darwin is a major scientist who really devotes his life towards evolution. He goes on a trip and he does many other different things that helps him prove and explain evolution to many other people who have not believed what evolution is. Yeah, so evolution can be defined as major changes over a period of time. Right. So here we have the timeline. It starts from 1790 and goes all the way to 1870, a period of many different scientists and people. You're just going over and finding out. You see, by 1809, you have Charles Darwin being born. You have Georges Cuvier. You have Darwin finding out many different things on his trip. And then you have many other people who come along. Evolution can be defined as in many different ways. Change in genetic population, adaptation, and differences are some way to define it. Evolution can be mainly viewed as a pattern and a process. Species were classified in many different ways, and the first classifications came from ancient Greek philosophers. So Aristotle is a major ancient Greek philosopher. He believed species to be fixed, unchanging. He believed in observation and felt like observation was like the way to really understand. While different Greek philosophers such as Plato, they believed in asking questions. So he concluded that life forms can be placed on a ladder of increased complexity, which is known as scala naturae. Each form of life, perfect and permanent, has its own position on the ladder. Ideas about change over time. Charles Darwin really drew from the works of scientists studying fossils, technically paleontologists. Many fossils are found in sedimentary rocks from the sand and mud that settle to the bottom of seas, lakes, and swamps. New layers of sediment replace old layers and compress them into superimposed layers called strata. The fossils are in a particular stratum which provide a glimpse of some of the organisms that populated Earth at the time the layer was formed. So, paleontology lets us discover that the older the stratum, the more dissimilar its fossils were to current life forms. It also lets us know that from one layer to the next, some new species appeared, while others disappeared. The scientist that I mentioned earlier, Georges Cuvier, strongly opposed the theory of evolution, and that really caused a change for what would come along as a really big impact in the timeline of evolution. He believed that some catastrophic events destroyed the living species that inhabited a particular area. Other scientists suggest that it could happen at a slow rate over time. Geologists believe that if geologic change results from slow continuous actions rather than from sudden events, then the Earth must be older than a widely accepted age of a few thousand years. A scientist during the 1800s known as Lamarck proposed a theory that there is a mechanism for how life changes over time. Most scientists believed and suggested that life evolves as environments change, but it was the other way for Lamarck. He's now known today for the incorrect mechanism he proposed. He proposed a theory called use and disuse, saying that the body parts that are used extensively become larger and stronger, while the ones that are not used deteriorate. Another theory that he proposed is that acquired traits can be inherited. He used the example of a giraffe, saying that his long muscular neck has evolved over many generations as giraffes stretch their necks even higher. This turned out to be false, especially the second one. Acquired traits cannot be inherited. An example is a bonsai tree, which can be trained to grow as a dwarf by pruning and shaping. However, seeds from the tree would produce offspring that are normally sized. The next video will go over 19th century dawn and how the drug-resistant bacteria evolved and how homology is used as a way to prove evolution.